Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. Today I am joined by a very special guest, my first music teacher who just so also happens to be my dad. Everybody, this is Mike.
Hi everybody.
He is here today to share with us his tips and tricks for practicing effectively. Now, in my own playing as well as in the teaching that I do, I have found these instrumental in helping students make music from the very get-go. He is going to break down practicing into two separate categories: notes, embouchure, and air, and then also rhythm.
Because rhythm is 50%.
Well said. Okay, why don't you share with us your tips and tricks so that students make music from the first time they play through a piece?
So the first thing that I do is I call it VAK, visual, auditory, kinesthetic. They are looking at the music, they are saying, I play trombone, the slide positions.
For us, we'll say the fingerings.
And they are doing it, so that's a muscle memory. It's surprising how many people don't know all the slide positions for the notes.
Or in our case, they happen to have auxiliary fingerings that could be better. And this helps isolate just the fingerings.
And so we get that 2 or 3 times, then we move to where they are tonguing and doing the fingerings.
Now, are they doing this with the instrument, like playing it?
No.
They're doing, okay, so if you were in a study hall or maybe you were stuck in a car in traffic, you could still practice.
That's right. And you're making the best use of your time. And so now they are going ta, 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 and they're getting the feeling of tonguing and air leaving their mouth and doing the positions, and they see it right there because we always have the music folded up in their pocket that they can take out and they can look at it. And then we get used to so that they are actually playing the horn, but without the rhythm, just in quarter notes. Happy birthday, ta, 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 so that they're getting that feeling of where they are going with each note and seeing it without worrying about each rhythm of how it happens.
Now, in this portion, I have to add on a little bit. This is all done in quarter notes. I know that you and I have talked a little bit about this outside of this video, that you're not actually using the rhythm that's on the page, but rather they're playing every note as a quarter note so that they're getting the movement from one fingering to another without worrying about the speed. And this adds for clarity of the fingers so that they don't have rushed technique. It will be very precise and clear, but also the air speed shifts that might also be required for that too.
It's amazing how many times the student will play and they'll skip 2 or 3 notes. They'll play something there, but it'll be the wrong position and it'll be the wrong sound, but they'll play something and they'll say, well, I got to the end. But if they're doing quarter notes, each note becomes very, very important. And then we get so that we're moving to rhythm.
Okay, the second half. Take us through how you teach rhythm.
The first thing that they do, they count it. And when they count it, they count each note separately. They're not worrying about counting all the way to 4.
Okay, now this is if you're in 4/4 time. Most often in counting, people are taught to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Rather, in this system, you're going to say 1, 1, 1, 1.
And if you have something like happy birthday, you're going to go 1 and 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, so that the student sees how long you hold each note. When they count all the way to 4, sometimes they don't get that. And so we get so they count it. Now they count it, and I have them tap their shoulder.
Now, this I think is fantastic because for myself, I found that the inner metronome is the heart. And so by tapping on the heart, you're locking into that metronome of the heart. And then I learned this from you, that it also helps because sometimes students can't tap their foot because the distance from the brain to the foot is so far, but the distance from the arm to the heart is closer. So oftentimes they will be more successful.
They will tap their foot many times, happy birthday, ta, 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 instead of ta, 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 ta. It's amazing. And so if they can get so that they can tap and count it, that is a real step. Then our next step is we are going to finger it and sing it and hopefully tap the foot, but not everybody's going to be able to do that. They can sing it and they can do the fingers or the slide position, and now they know where they are slowing down, that, oh, I don't have that one quite as well, so I need to work that measure. Because now they're singing. because that's what makes practice time go by faster and gets the interest. Because if you are teaching, for instance, you are working to get the student to enjoy, or if you are practicing something at home, you want to make it so that you like to practice. It's not a drudgery, it's not a have to, it's a want to.
Parents will love this.
Yes. Then we get so that now they've sung it, they've done the fingering or the position, now they are playing it.
Okay, so what this is we're finally to the final stage that most people start at. Most people will jump into the deep end and hope that they can get the rhythm, they can get the embouchure, they can get the notes, and they can get the fingerings all in one swoop. By isolating each of these in detail and then finally putting all of the pieces together, we've built a solid foundation and a 7-layer cake rather than throwing you in and hoping that you can swim. And this also opens doorways to always being able to practice no matter where you're at or what the conditions are.
Because not everybody comes to, or not everybody has the proper embouchure. Now I am concentrating on what I'm doing with my embouchure, and then you start getting good tone. When you get good tone, everything else comes along with it, like intonation.
Yes, and also musicality. And this is the difference between playing notes on a page or actually making art. And once you start making art, there's the utilization of personal voice and personal growth as well. And that's what gets people involved.
And you start enjoying it.
Yes, and that's the reason we're all here. Okay, guys, I think this wraps up everything that I had to say. How about you?
That sounds good.
If you enjoyed this, be sure to give us a thumbs up. If you want to make sure you don't miss any future videos, be sure to click that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!